Hello guys and welcome back to Championship Predictions. We are back predicting the second tier of English football, and as always I'm joined by my amazing sister Sophie. Set us a like target.
Let's go 3,000 likes on this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Standard.
Get involved, hit the thumbs up button, and of course be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's nearly the end of the season, so make sure you have subscribed to help us push for 100,000. It would be massively appreciated. And Sophie, this is the penultimate week. There's only 1 week of the championship left after this one.
Don't. It makes me sad thinking about it coming to an end.
Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. I tell you what will make you cry though, Sophie, is the scores from last time where you got absolutely battered.
Again.
It was like you were Stoke City and I was Leeds United. You got absolutely trounced there. We've got a lot to talk about as we head into the predictions, but I think with 2 weeks to go here, Sophie, it's fair to say I've beaten you this season.
Yeah, I think I'd describe myself as a Sheffield United. At times I've come close, but at the end I fell short.
Yeah, and just like Chris Wilder, you're going to start kicking off down the tunnel when the camera goes off, aren't you?
Might do, yeah.
Let's get into the predictions, Sophie. It's funny you say Sheffield United because they're up first. They take on Stoke City on Friday night. Sheffield United now, Sophie, don't have anything to play for because that top two is wrapped up. We'll come on to Leeds United and Burnley later, where congratulations are in order. For Sheffield United, of course, commiserations, but they can still go up. They could do with some momentum heading towards the playoffs. But they take on Stoke, Sophie, who are on 50 points and maybe not safe just yet. That defeat to Leeds United has really ruined their goal difference, and the teams around them all seem to win on Easter Monday. I think it's important Stoke get something because on the final day they play Derby, and that could be a really difficult one. If they lose that, they could still go down. I'm going to go for a big result. Stoke City are staying up 1-0.
Oh, wow. I feel like I can't back them to get anything after that result against Leeds. I thought they were going to put up more of a fight. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Leeds are a very, very good team, and on their day they are capable of beating anyone 6-0. But when Stoke have so much to fight for, I thought that was almost pathetic, to be honest. So they've got to get something from this one. And Sheffield United, yeah, they're not in the best form right now, and they do want to take some momentum going into the playoffs because we know that's where they're going to finish now. I say they'll do it. 2-1.
To the Blades.
Yeah, 2-1 Blades.
Yeah, so that means Stoke City might still be looking over their shoulders going into that final game.
Yeah.
Oh dear. We thought 50 points might be enough, but who knows? Imagine if a team goes down with 50 points.
I know. But they're all winning down at the bottom, so literally they're dragging different teams in at this point.
I know. Well, speaking of those teams down at the bottom, Sophie, it's Luton Town up next, and they take on our team, Coventry City. You will be pleased to know that we're not going to this one. We have been bad luck charms for Coventry City on the road this season. I will do a live stream for this on Saturday, so do join us at 12:30. Sophie, I don't feel massively confident because I've noticed for a while now Coventry City are a different team at home to away.
Yeah.
I really trust us at home. Under Frank Lampard in the league, we've only lost at home to Burnley and Leeds.
Yeah.
Away from home though, we get battered at Portsmouth, we get smashed by Plymouth, and this is a difficult one because these teams down at the bottom, Sophie, are fighting for their lives. The interesting thing, Sophie, is Coventry City, whatever happens in this game, so long as we beat Middlesbrough in the final game, we've made the playoffs. So it takes away a little bit from this one. Although if Coventry want to finish 5th or possibly wrap up our playoff place before the final day, we want to try and get something here. But I just feel like these teams down at the bottom, Sophie, are really pulling things out now, pulling it out the bag.
Great win 2 on the bounce as well.
Great win away at Derby, and then they've just smashed Bristol City. So I'm going to back Luton 2-1.
So I think it's my bias. I can't back us to lose, which sounds daft because I've literally just seen us lose 3-1 to Plymouth, and Luton are another team absolutely scrapping it out. So 1-2 on the bounce. We're not there. If we were going, I'd probably back Luton to win just because we are really bad luck charms this season, but I'm hoping the fact that we're not there means we might get a draw. 1-1. Just blind hope at this point.
Yeah, look, a draw might not be a bad result. I honestly think we're going to lose this, but I do think we'll beat Middlesbrough on the final day.
Yeah, because we're at home.
Yeah,
and it's Borough as
that's how I see this playing out. The next game, Sophie, is between Queen's Park Rangers and Burnley. Not a lot riding on this. QPR, safe. No. Burnley, promoted. I suppose it's the title now.
Yeah, I think both those two top teams, they want the top spot, so they are still playing for that.
Yeah. Well, the pressure's on Burnley to catch up. I suppose the pressure's on Leeds to mess it up for the title. The thing is, it's not in Burnley's hands, is what I'm saying.
No.
The goal difference is not going to swing. So Burnley have to win both and then hope Leeds slip up.
Yeah.
I think Burnley will win this.
Yeah.
Let's give QPR a goal because Burnley have conceded 1 or 2 goals in the last month, which is really not like them.
Yeah.
I don't know. QPR 1, Burnley 2.
I think I'll say Burnley 1-0. I think they'll be happy just to get the 3 points, to be honest. I don't think they're going to go all out, but I do think the top 2 teams want to finish in that top spot, and rightly so. As mentioned, QPR have nothing to really play for. Burnley do, in a way, so I do fancy them to win, but I don't think there'll be many goals, so Burnley 1-0.
Burnley 1-0. There you go. Both back in the Clarets to try and put the pressure on Leeds for that Championship title. They might still both finish on 100 points, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
The next one, Sophie, is at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers take on Watford. Blackburn are not mathematically out of the playoff race, I must say. It's not likely that they'll do it, but if they do win the final 2 games, who knows? Sophie, they've really started to turn things around under Val Ismail, so he does deserve credit.
He does, actually, because I was counting them out, and I am counting them out of the playoffs. I know they're mathematically still kind of in it, but they went on a really poor run of form, but they've put a stop to that now. So, yeah, it was a good result against Sunderland.
It certainly was. I'm going to back them again. I'm really enjoying Blackburn at the minute.
Yeah.
Watford sort of stagnating a little bit.
Yeah.
Blackburn 3, Watford 1.
Okay, I'm going 2-1 Rovers. They have turned a corner, and then Watford don't really have anything to play for. You can see by the performances as well that they don't, so I think it should be not a convincing win that I think Blackburn are going to dominate in all respects, but I think they'll get it over the line, so 2-1. 2-1.
Yep, okay. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments on that one. We're both backing Blackburn Rovers. Sophie, this is a really big game down in South Wales as Cardiff take on West Brom. Cardiff are on the verge of relegation, Sophie. They need to get the win. Not even a draw, get the win.
Yeah.
It's a battle between 2 clubs that have not been in good form and 2 teams that have replaced the managers. Obviously, Cardiff City we haven't really touched on much. Aaron Ramsey came in for the Oxford game. By all accounts, should have won. It was just an unreal Cameron Brannigan equaliser from the free kick. West Brom, on the other hand, absolutely rubbish against Derby, and they were rubbish against Coventry, and they've got rid of Tony Mowbray. Cardiff have to pull it out their bum now, don't they? Just get a performance, get 3 points. If you don't do it, you're down. It's that important. 2-1 Cardiff. It has to be now more than ever.
Yeah, I'm backing them to get the win. I'm going to say 1-0, which you could say West Brom might have a new or no manager bounce, because I don't think they've actually appointed anyone yet, have they? Not properly. And I don't think they will until the season's over, because it's a bit of a strange time to sack someone. But ultimately, Mowbray wasn't doing a good job there, and the players kind of let him down as well. So I'm hoping he might just retire now and enjoy his life. I still think that Cardiff will do it though. They've just got more to fight for, to me. And I feel like Aaron Ramsey, if he just literally reiterates what you've just said to the players, like, do you want to play in League One next season? No. Then put in a good performance now and you might stay up. So I think they might just do it. 1-0.
1-0. There you go. We're both backing them. It's just the fact that they have to. Is making me think they will. Yeah. West Brom are not in good form, so it is a fairly nice fixture for Cardiff, but goodness me, I tell you what, we could get a really exciting final day down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's see. I tell you what, Sophie, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Hull City versus Derby County. This is the 2 teams directly above the bottom 3. Now, as we touched on earlier with Luton's game, if Luton beat Coventry, Luton are guaranteed to come out of the bottom 3 because Hull are playing Derby, they can't both win. So one of these could slide into the bottom 3 going into the final week. This is absolutely huge. It would be... I wouldn't be entirely surprised if this was a draw. I was thinking of saying like 1-1 or something, but I think I can see a winner, and that's Derby.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Hull.
No, do you know what? I got Hull's prediction right last time. I said they'd beat Preston 2-1. I think they're going to go back to losing ways now, though. I'm going to go Hull 0, Derby 1, which would be, which would see them swap places going into the final day.
See, maybe I'm being boring and I'm going to back a draw just because I feel like both teams will be desperate not to lose this one, because obviously both being so close to the relegation zone. I don't think they're going to try and play out a draw. I just think it's going to happen because both teams are going to set up like, okay, we don't really want to lose. I kind of see why you've backed Derby in a way, because Hull are slightly better away from home, but I don't know, I think I'm just going to be boring and back the draw, to be honest.
There you go, 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Share your thoughts down below. It wouldn't be a great result for either. Maybe slightly better for Hull as they start the day just in front of Derby. But
yeah.
Tell you what, like I say, Derby plays Stoke on the final day. There's some huge games coming. The next one, Sophie, sees Middlesbrough take on Norwich City. Middlesbrough, Sophie, who are still just on Coventry City's tails, and as we expect, it's going to go to the final day between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Borough had the opportunity to jump ahead of Coventry because Coventry lost to Plymouth. Borough were winning at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
They had a penalty, and it all went wrong. They missed the penalty and they conceded 2 goals, and right at the end they had a shot bounce off the line and it just wouldn't happen for them. Which is karma, because they didn't deserve a last-minute penalty against Plymouth.
That. Yeah, it's evened out now.
I tell you what, I do think they're going to win, Sophie. I think, as I say, this is going to the final day. Norwich have just sacked Thorup, I will say.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
And you could get the no-manager bounce, but I think Middlesbrough have got to pull it out now. And at home, I think they're going to do it. Middlesbrough 3-1.
Why? Just because they need to as well?
I think, here's how I see it going. I think Middlesbrough might just jump ahead of Coventry going into that final day, and maybe Coventry on the final day will take it back.
There's just so many like big games on the final day. I really don't know what to go for here. My head is saying a Borough win, to be honest, but I'm almost hoping that Norwich will have a no-manager bounce. 2-1 Borough. Yeah, I know I sound downbeaten saying that because I can see them getting it over the line. I actually do think that last few games have been putting in some alright performances. They were quite unlucky last game, but I think being at home now, they've got everything to fight for. 2-1.
Oh, this is just so painfully close, isn't it? It's going to the final day. I hate it.
Yeah.
Do share your thoughts down below, guys. The next game, Sophie, is at the Den as Millwall take on informed Swansea City. Millwall, Sophie, were the only team in and around the playoff picture that managed to win on Easter Monday, and it gives them a chance. The only thing is, they're 3 points off. Their goal difference isn't great, and Coventry playing Middlesbrough on the final day means at least one of those teams are going to get something. So we need a really particular set of results to go Millwall's way for them to get in there.
Yeah.
How do I see this playing out? I don't even know if they'll win this. I mean, Millwall.
It's a tough game.
Millwall have been good, Sophie.
Yeah.
But Swansea play really well now that there's no pressure on them.
Yes.
And they won again. They won in the capital on Monday, and they might win in the capital again. They've just beaten QPR. They've beaten half the championship in the last 3 weeks. If Millwall win, it means they could take this to the final day, which would be interesting. But I've got a feeling this is where it comes to an end, actually. Millwall 1, Swansea 2.
Yeah, see, again, my head's saying Swansea, just because of how they've been playing recently. They're in really, really good form. But for the drama, Millwall 1-0. I think it's all going to the final day. I think they'll do it somehow.
Oh, Sophie, that is... Yeah. Oh, wow, that's brave. There you go. Imagine if Millwall beat both Coventry and Middlesbrough to the playoffs, though.
Could you imagine?
We're both more concerned about each other, and Millwall come up through the middle.
And they're like, yeah, never mind, you guys fight it out. I'm just going around the back. Crafty
Millwall, hey? On to the next one, Sophie. We have Oxford United versus Sunderland. Sunderland in some really rubbish form, aren't they? Now that their playoff place is wrapped up. They take on Oxford, who are not safe just yet. Obviously got that draw against Cardiff City, which has pushed them closer to safety. And as I say, Sophie, what a goal from Cameron Brannigan. Absolute thunder blaster. Thunderbolt, yeah. Thunderblast, I said, by the way. I am going to say Oxford win 1-0. I think they're going to do it, Sophie. I look at these two. I look at where the game's being held. Yeah. I think Oxford, at home, knowing that they need one more result to get over the line, they're going to beat this Sunderland team that are not really in any kind of form at the minute.
They're not in very good form at the minute, but surely they've got to start thinking, okay, we can't just go into the playoffs losing like the last few games. Like, mentally, that's not good for you. Doesn't mean I think they're going to win. I actually see this one playing out as a draw. I'm going to go for a goalless 0-0.
A goalless 0-0.
A goalless 0-0.
Not just a 0-0, but a goalless 0-0.
Michael Owen, goalless 0-0.
There you go, I like it. Share your thoughts on that goalless 0-0. Next up, Sophie, we go to Deepdale as Preston North End take on Plymouth Argyle. I tell you what, who would have thought at this stage of the season these two could still be relegated? Obviously, it's not really possible for Plymouth to catch Preston because of the goal difference, but they could both stay up or they could both go down, is basically how I'm looking at this. Plymouth could really cause Preston some problems here, and Preston could basically put the knife in Plymouth here. I'm not prepared to say goodbye to Plymouth yet, Sophie,
No.
But if they don't win this, they are all but down.
That's it, yeah.
They were very good against Coventry, but that's how they are at home park. This is away from home, and I think it's quite awkward now that Preston have something to play for. If Preston had a few more points and they had nothing to play for, I think
they were just sleepwalking into the relegation battle and then realised, oh, hang on, but they just woke up downstairs in the kitchen and gone, oh, no, I shouldn't belong down here. So I think they might start to get something.
But Plymouth are going to come through the back door and grab them from behind and win 2-1. I'm going for a bold one, Sophie.
I like that.
It might be a little bit of a fantasy, but I think there's chaos to be had in this Championship relegation battle. I'm going to go for a bold one, which will take this to the final day. Preston 1, Plymouth 2. Do I think it's massively likely? I'm not sure, because I think Preston can be very hard to beat at home.
Yeah.
But Plymouth have got to play for their lives. If they don't win, they're down. There you go, 2-1.
I'd love to see that play out, but I'm not brave enough to back it. I'm going to go for another draw. I'm going to say 1-1. If it was at home park, do you know what? I'd actually back Argyle to get something. But I think with Preston being at home and they're not safe as well, that's why I feel like it's going to be a really, really tricky game. As I say, I hope Argyle gets something, but I think it's going to end a draw, 1-1.
Oh, who knows? I suppose if we look at the other results come the end of Saturday, we'll see if that means relegation for Plymouth and safety for Preston. But yeah, still a lot to play for. Not the best result for Plymouth, I must say that. Share your thoughts. The next game, Sophie, is at Hillsborough as Sheffield Wednesday take on Portsmouth. And I love myself a bit of Danny Roll. I tell you what, they are in our good books after last week.
Yeah. I love you lot.
Yeah, I love you Wednesday. Yeah, honestly, really happy with Sheffield Wednesday. Great win against Middlesbrough because Middlesbrough had a lot to play for. Sheffield Wednesday don't.
Nothing. Yeah.
And let's be honest, their home form has been really poor lately. So well done to them. They pulled it out the bag. But speaking of well dones, let's give a well done to Portsmouth, Sophie, who are mathematically safe now. Yeah. And they deserve to stay up big time.
They do. Yeah. I said, to be honest, that home form is going to see them staying up this season. And it was. But they've just been putting in some really good performances.
They certainly have. And that 5-3 win away at Norwich on Good Friday, that was mental, wasn't it? Do you know what, Sophie? Both teams are, well, they haven't got anything to play for. Portsmouth can come here. I prefer Portsmouth at Fratton Park, but I still think they can come here, have a bit of fun, play quite loose and open now that they're safe.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday, there can be chaos. I'm going to go for one of my boldest predictions I've ever done, just to have some fun. 4-4.
4-4? Could you imagine if that came in? What would the odds be on that?
Probably about 10,000 to 1.
When you said I'm going bold, I thought 3-3.
No, I'm going to up the stakes. That's probably the first time on this channel I've ever done a 4-4. I think if you base it on the fact Portsmouth won 5-3 at Norwich the other day, and the fact that Sheffield Wednesday can score goals and concede goals, let's throw in a 4-4.
Wow. Yeah, mine's going to sound dead boring now. I'm going for a Desmond, just a 2-2, just half of yours. So, yeah, I mean 4-4. I don't think that'll be the first and last time you ever predict a 4-4, but
imagine if it comes in.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Honestly.
I do think it'll be a draw. I think it could be quite open, quite a few goals, not as many as you, but for me, still 2-2.
The thing is, some people might be watching this thinking, oh, he's lost all credibility doing that.
The 2-1 king has gone for a 4-4.
If you never cast a 4-4 draw, you'll never get it. And they do happen every so often.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, there are like freak results here and there, as you've already mentioned, the 5-3. Imagine if you'd backed that. So maybe 4-4 isn't that unrealistic. I don't know.
There you go. Right, on to the final game, Sophie. Monday night. Let's go to Ellen Road. It's Leeds United versus Bristol City. Ellen Road is kissing goodbye to the Championship, Sophie, as Leeds United are going up. A massive congratulations to them.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, well deserved. There's been points of the season where you think, oh, are they faltering a little bit? But do you know what? They've proved people wrong, where everyone was like, oh, Leeds are falling apart again. And yeah, they rightfully go up. I mean, they've got a great team. The manager's done a good job. So fair play to them.
Absolutely, they've deserved it. They've been unbelievable, and I expect them to go on and win the league. And Sophie, we both did back them to win the league, so we'll see if that plays out. They take on Bristol City, Sophie. Bristol City have still got something to play for.
They do.
They could lose this and then just beat Preston on the final day and be safe because they only need 3 more points. But that Preston game is starting to look like it could have something riding on it, which makes things interesting. Wouldn't it be quite the story that Bristol City relegate Preston and then also get promoted? These two teams that have been lodged in the middle of the Championship for years.
Yeah, occupying between 12th and 14th place, and now Bristol City might well finish in the playoffs, and as you say, Preston might go down.
As for a prediction for this one, Sophie, Leeds United, they will have been on the booze. I don't think it'll be a 6-0, but look, they've got to go seriously for the title.
I think they will, you know. A lot of people might say, they've got nothing really to play for now. No, they're going to want to finish top spot.
I'm going to say 2-0. It'd be good for Coventry's sake if Leeds can really damage Bristol City's goal difference, but I'm just going to say 2-0.
I'm going to chuck in a couple more goals, but the same deficit, so it's not really going to affect Bristol City's goal difference any different than your prediction, but 3-1 for me. I feel like Bristol City are going to have to turn up and try and get something, but as I say, Leeds are trying to finish top spot, so I think it could be a little bit of an open one. 3-1 Leeds.
There you go, we're both backing Leeds to get a win in their final home game of the season. And once again, a massive congratulations to Leeds United and Burnley. Still quite a lot to play for in the Championship, so make sure you are getting involved with our channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's really appreciated. Help us push to 97,000 subscribers. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.